Donk. Music's over. Podcast begins.
Welcome.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, welcome to the Corridor Cast in 2025. It's the future, guys.
New year, new podcast vibe.
Yeah. New, clean backgrounds. We've reorganized it. Yeah. Mixed it up a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
For all of you listening, it's just wall behind us now.
Yeah.
We are in the process of doing more. We're going to try to figure out something to put back here, but it'll be...
Let me introduce you to Ren over here. High five, Ren. High five. And also my friend Nico down
What's
here.
up, Nico?
Hi, Sam. Hi, Ren.
Hey, how's it going? This is how we're actually sitting in relationship to each other. Nico is on he's on the bottom floor.
We're the corridor
with
bunch.
Christian.
Yeah.
No Brady's here.
Yeah, I propose that we actually commit to like the idea of all of our layout. Like, you know, I always look up to talk to Ren. I look to the top corner to talk to Sam.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But the guys didn't want to commit.
No, I mean, what do you mean? We just did it. No, it's great.
We have new capabilities.
Guys, it's been what?
Whoa!
Yeah.
Sound effects.
Oh, yeah, we got a new soundboard.
And in case no one's laughing in real life, we can hit the sound for the laugh.
Nice.
I don't think I got loud.
Ha, 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 ha. Also, it's not...
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it's very high
Sad
tech.
trumpet?
Actually, can you turn the monitors down?
Yeah, because now I'm like hearing my own voice in the room.
I'm turning it.
Sweet.
That won't be on.
So yeah, guys, it's been a long
2025.
month.
It's been a long year. 2025.
Well, I said long month because it's been a while since we've done a podcast.
Yeah, it
It's
has.
nice.
Yeah,
A lot
when
of
was the last one we did? It was like mid-December. It's now like almost mid-January.
Yeah, a lot of stuff has happened since then. A lot of huge developments, personal, global, everything in between.
Yeah.
Obviously, we kicked it off with the wildfire video. That's not how we were thinking of opening the year.
Our
We were like,
first
hey-
week back was last week.
Actually,
and
technically, Aliens is kicked it off, which was
Aliens is?
Aliens is. That's what we call
Aliens is 2.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Well, no, but that's a react, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the reacts are like something you can count on. They're like an old friend. You know, they're there.
Although
They're always
everyone
there.
kept coming back to the week previous before that, being like, oh, there's no new react this week because there wasn't. We missed one day, but that was because we were all out of town.
Yeah. That's true. We also did last year.
Yes, yeah. We now have just the one day of the year where we don't post react so that we can all have a life. But yeah, so last week we came into the studio, we had a whole plan for how the week was going to go, and then Tuesday Mother Nature came through and was like...
I wonder how loud that actually was in people's ears.
Yeah, I don't know if the windscreen actually worked or not, but yeah, they're like, we got other plans for you, and all of LA basically caught fire. Every single square inch of Los Angeles was burning, according to the news.
Yeah, it's all on fire. My house burned down.
We're all
Your
now
house is
homeless.
burned down.
We actually
Yeah.
are all fire people now. This is the Fire Nation.
We are fire.
It's like Mad Max, basically. It's sweet.
Yeah. It's like Pixar's Elemental right now in Los Angeles.
Yeah. So yeah, we covered that in the video though. So I don't know how much more we really need to dive into it though. It kind of blew over the whole situation. So
Yeah.
So Tuesday the windstorm came through. Tuesday night we went on an epic one-wheel adventure to go check out the winds, and then inadvertently was like, oh, that's the birth of a fire that went on to destroy a lot of northern Pasadena, Altadena as they say.
Yeah.
And
Different than the Palisades fire.
Very
I'll point that
different.
out. There were 5 wildfires in Los Angeles in the past week.
yeah.
which is nuts.
Which I don't know if people are aware of that. But there's 5 different geographical locations with wildfires.
But then like the rest of the week, we had this plan to do it, and I don't know about you guys, but I could barely focus on Wednesday. I couldn't focus on anything other than like the news.
Well, I lost power to my house.
Yeah.
And like the Altadena fire was actively happening, and like Altadena was actively burning. And it was
Yeah.
a question of like, do we need to evacuate? What's going on with the smoke? And it was like, I have pictures where it's crystal clear blue up my house, and you can see the top of Mount Verdugo. No particulate between me and there.
Yeah.
You turn right and it's a black wall.
Dude, that pano photo you took of just like that giant plume of smoke going across the sky is like such a shot.
Yeah. Christian, if
Yeah.
I send it to you, can you pull it up on the podcast?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, so we had a plan to shoot this whole other thing on Thursday and then do some stuff on Friday. And then like literally I'm coming in Thursday morning to film this debunking that we had planned. And you called me and be like, all right, we're pivoting. We're going to make a video about the wildfires. We're going to shoot it today. We're going to edit it tomorrow. And it's going to go up this week. And I was like, what? Let's do it.
Yeah,
And that's what we did.
We didn't really have much of a plan going into it.
Yeah, much of a plan. barely had any plan. But so I'm assuming those of you listening or watching this podcast right now have seen the wildfire video. It was one of our most popular videos we put out in quite a while. It got basically 1 million views in the first day and a half, maybe.
Pretty crazy.
People want to know. People are curious.
Too bad we're not pocketing any of that ad revenue, though.
Too bad we're donating it all to a good cause.
Too bad.
There's still some comments being like, "You guys are just doing this for the views." It's like,
Well, kinda.
yeah, kinda, in the sense that we want people to know what's going on.
Yeah, but it's like we're not directly profiting off of any of it, so it's not the sort of...
Screw those people. Whatever. They're so shallow.
Yeah.
What are they, like toad people?
Yeah, I just wanted to I don't know, personally, I just wanted to show people what was happening, because the whole internet exists as a game of telephone where like things are
bottom one.
constantly getting like cycled
bottom
and
one.
cycled. Oh yeah, here, go to the bottom picture here. That's the one right there. That's the panel. If you can save that and pop.
So that's
open.
basically
open.
right at the start
Okay.
of the Verdugo mountain trail that we do. What's the actual proper name of it? It's like the Maury Trail or something like that.
It said something Fire Road, Mount Tom Fire Road or something like that.
No, it's
Wait, Christian, are you sure? Can you put it on the
Beaudry's
screen?
the other side. I was thinking of Beaudry.
On the Obis.
What was that?
Can you put it on the podcast feed?
It is.
Is
It
it?
is.
I don't see it on the
Oh shoot! I
my
did
iPad.
transition. My bad.
Maybe don't show the yeah, there you go.
I got you.
Nice.
Yeah, so
So that's the
that was the whole thing. I will say, okay, so everyone who had seen that video, you may have probably also gone down to the comments and noticed how like 4 out of the top comments, all with thousands of upvotes each, a lot of the comments were being like, don't go that close to downed power lines. And it was like, they weren't exactly calling us idiots, but they were kind of heavily implying it. And I just want to talk about that a little bit for a moment. Because first off, yes, they are 100% correct. Do
Don't
not
go.
go near downed power lines. That is incredibly dangerous. This was a slightly different situation because one, we kind of knew what was up.
Yeah. Well, maybe you need to clarify your
Sure,
argument
sure,
a
okay.
little bit further.
Fair. My point was that like we understood what we were doing. It wasn't like we were just blindly going close to power lines. The power line wasn't connected to the actual power. It was connected to the house, but not the power. So it was a dead wire.
Yeah, the other
We
end of the
knew
wire was
that
in my
going
yard.
into it.
Yeah.
Because it was like, of course this is a dead wire, but any other situation you might not necessarily know that. If the power line is down, it's connected to somewhere. Maybe it's still connected to power. Don't go near that, especially if it's a high voltage wire where it could arc when you don't even touch it.
Yeah, no, this was a house line.
Yeah,
Which I believe
so-
those are 240 volt
Maybe.
or 120, something like that. Either way.
Yeah, regardless, but it wasn't connected to power. It's like when you have a charger, you know, like your phone charger, and it has a wire, or like let's say a laptop charger. You got the brick and it has the wire sticking out of the back of it that you plug into the wall. This was that, but it wasn't plugged into the wall.
Yeah, it was plugged into the phone, which would be the house, but it was not plugged into the wall or the battery.
Exactly.
It's funny.
So that was the wire that was hanging there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, at least I didn't drive 100 miles an hour in the video.
No, 95
I
miles
thought
an
about
hour
that. I was like,
in a school zone.
I should drive like just a little slightly above the speed limit just for the comments.
Yeah.
We actually went like extra slow during that drive because
Yeah.
it was like mostly through neighborhoods.
Well, the windstorm had just happened.
Well, also we
Yeah.
were rubbernecking so dang hard. There was like trees falling over on buildings and houses and smashing stuff.
Yeah,
It's
like-
hard, it's hard to drive fast when there's so much to look at.
People had only had like one day to clean up by that point.
Yeah, and I guess it was in the video a little bit, but like the night we went out and we went up to the top of the mountain, then back down the backside into the dead neighborhood.
Oh, that was crazy.
I shouldn't say dead neighborhood. It was a neighborhood without power.
It was like a
and-
Silent Hill level.
Yeah, it was super bizarre. And it was a neighborhood I've been through dozens of times on my one wheel. And we came across 2 different fallen trees, both very massive, but the second one was legitimately huge. Like the trunk was laying on the ground and the trunk itself came up above my waist. And I climbed up on it and it was crazy. And the top part of the tree had collapsed on a house. And we don't know if any of the people in that house are okay. I'm assuming they're fine.
Probably dead. They're all.
I mean, there was no activity at the house.
It was game night,
Christian, I'll send you
and the
these
tree
pictures, too.
crushed the one room. They're all playing Scrabble in.
I mean,
I'm joking.
there was no power, and there didn't seem to be any life in the house in the entire region around that tree. So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, that's a seeing like because you also brought up a really interesting thing, which was that tree was across the road and that's like a dead end road. So if
Yeah.
they had to evacuate, no one would be able to get their cars out of there.
Yeah.
And like it is up against a mountain and the dry brush and all that kind of stuff.
It's like at that point, you literally just drive onto the yard around the tree. But it's like, it wasn't like one of those yards you could just drive up onto. They had like all this
Stuff
like-
you're gonna have to run over.
Yeah, but like it was leveled
Little
up. Like there's a
statues.
little bit of
Oh,
like an
terrace.
elevation. Yeah, terrace slightly.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you can see me standing up on that.
That's a freaking thick tree.
Yeah, so to the right, you can kind of see how there's like some like stone terrace work there that you wouldn't be able to just like drive up and over if you're in like a sedan.
My.
My.
Yeah, that's the largest tree I saw. I mean, of anything I've seen with my own eyes. Like I've seen a bunch of trees smushing stuff, but
Yeah,
that
trees-
one is massive.
That's a big one. Like trees fall over in Minnesota all the time from storms, you know? It's
Sure.
like every 2 years you got tree fall. But like that's a big boy.
Yeah, it's a big boy. Oh,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was-
So that
And so it was like this had to have happened within the hour or two.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was a little earlier in the day. We don't exactly know. But like as we were standing there, this truck pulls up with like flashing yellow lights, some sort of power
Yeah.
company truck, and he got out with a vest and like a reflective vest and was like scouting it. So maybe it was actually like minutes beforehand before we pulled up.
It was pretty fresh. That's for sure. I mean, the windstorm was happening that night.
Yeah, and we were basically there within the hour that the wind was peaking.
Yeah.
It was we're gusts of 99 miles an hour were confirmed around the area. Now, generally, it's probably closer to like maybe 60 miles an hour sustained, which 60 miles an hour wind, very, very fast wind. Just saying.
Yeah.
Up at the top of the mountain,
That
there's
was
this
nuts.
giant fence wrapping around the radio towers that are up on top of the mountains that you always see from anywhere in LA. And it's like a 12-foot fence. It's really thick, tightly knit chain link. And it's technically permeable, like wind can go through it. It's not like a regular chain link fence that you see next to like a schoolyard or something.
I think I have a picture of that too.
But it's like 12 feet high. It's got barbed wire up at the top, and it was blowing so hard that the fence was bending. It was at like a 20-degree bend. It was like, and I kept getting blown into the fence. Like I'd be standing there and a gust would hit me, and it would literally throw me into the fence.
I have like 3 seconds of that. I recorded 3 seconds of it. It was so windy.
Dude, I had my phone rolling through that whole section. I just like rolled all around it. It was nuts. That was definitely like a once in a lifetime experience, being up on top of a mountain during a giant windstorm
Yeah,
and
'cause-
seeing a fire just maybe 4 miles away starting to consume a mountainside.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, in a windstorm, it's really just the debris you got to watch out for. And once you're on the top of the mountain, there's nothing around to hit you. So it's just getting blasted by wind. It's like being on the beach, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, here we go. Some more pictures here.
Yeah, so actually, oh, wait, go back to that photo. Go back to that
I'm getting
photo.
them loaded up before
Okay, but I want to talk about this other photo real quick. This one, yeah. So if you're watching the podcast right now, the picture that's currently on the screen, you see the fire off in the distance. That's the Eaton Fire, just below Mount Wilson in the Angeles Mountains. The mountain in the foreground there is the one we actually went to the top of in the video we posted last weekend.
Right.
That's the San Gabriel Mountains. And the
No,
highway down
and
below.
San
Sorry,
Rafael.
the San Rafael Mountains. Wow, very different.
your Christian I sent you a picture too.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the Highway 2 that goes up to La Cañada there in the foreground, slicing through that mountain. But yeah, so we're further away from the fires in this photo than we were for the video that we recorded. But the video was during the day and you couldn't really see all the fires.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy.
That one's intense.
I took this 10 miles away from the fire.
Yeah, you posted this, and I remember seeing some videos or photos of this from in town in
Yeah.
Pasadena, and it looked the same. I was like, did you just copy and paste their photo? What happened?
And so from a scale perspective, it's kind of hard to understand what it is until you look down and see the ridge line with the trees at the bottom.
Yeah.
And go, oh, I see. So a house is roughly the size of half of one of those trees down at the bottom. And that is the fire climbing up one of the canyons to the top of the mountain. And so, yeah, that's like a couple
Man, that's
100 feet tall,
crazy.
maybe 1,000 feet tall.
That's crazy. And the thing is, like, that's getting blasted with 60-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, just
Out
fuel.
over miles over Altadena.
Yeah, it's like you have all
Actually,
of this
man, oh my
brush
God.
that is ripe for burning, and then you inject oxygen into the.
That's like the size of a convenience store right there.
That little
Okay,
light
no
at
one
the
can see
bottom.
what you're doing, Sam.
No, well,
Down at the very bottom, there's little like points of light.
No, down at the very bottom,
very, very
above
bottom.
the
right there.
OBS
Yeah, zoom in
icon
on
is
one
a
of
light.
those.
That's
Yeah,
like a
that,
big
zoom in
building
on
right
that.
there.
That's a gas station right
click,
there.
Jesus.
click the magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Zoom that in. Yeah.
That's a little
There you go. That's a
convenience
gas
store.
station or convenience store.
Jeez.
That's how it is.
It's a
compared
whole
to that.
mountain.
And it's
Damn.
all just burning in a line, and just so I've started seeing more and more pictures of like the mountain range. It looks like Henninger Flats. All the buildings up there burned down,
Man.
but the trees are still there.
Christian,
'Cause
can you
oak
full
trees,
screen on the podcast the picture?
Yeah, hold on. Hold on a second.
Oak trees are rather
probably set one of
resilient
those up.
to fire, and so at first
They're
when I was looking
hardwood.
at, there was a satellite photo of the entire region that was taken on Saturday, and it just shows all the destruction because you can zoom in like it's Google Earth. It's like a gigapixel type deal, and I was like, oh wow, Henninger Flat, which is like a few miles up the trail of Eaton Canyon. Where the fire started, I was like, "Wow, Henninger Flats made it. It's fine." And I got to looking closely, and I was like, "No, it's all burned down too."
Damn.
Yeah.
And just to
I-
clarify, guys, we're talking about the Eaton Canyon fire, not the Palisades fire.
Okay, yeah. We have zero experience with the Palisades fire. I've barely spent any time
I have
in the Palisades.
I have like no idea what's going on
I was
there outside of
right
just-
next to that spot,
chaos.
and like I was at
what?
one of the places that burned. Literally
in the
like
Palisades.
6 days before the fire, so that was kind of trippy. Yeah, I was out in Topanga Canyon for
Okay.
a night with some friends, and yeah,
Like just like a couple weeks ago.
it was like an Airbnb. Yeah, no, it was on the 28th.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, it was pretty cool because they were out here for vacation, and it was like, yeah, this is fun. And then they like left on the 1st, and so when the fire popped up, I was like, great timing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, thank God you didn't.
There's
go
some
away that trip.
incredible trails over in the Palisades too. One of our one of my favorite trails. Sam, Nico, you went there once, right? The Whoops.
Yes.
It's like a mountain bike, like slalom type trail that goes down. But there's so many trails up there. I haven't spent that much time. It's a little far away.
yeah.
By the way, okay, so this is crazy. So that drone hit one of
Yes.
the planes putting
Oh,
out
I
the
saw
Palisades
that.
fire.
Yeah.
That's
So one of the giant Canadian super whatevers, they
Yeah.
basically they scoop up water, they dump it out. Some nitwit
Yeah.
was
Yep.
flying a drone and it hit the plane. I don't know at which point, but
In the
on the
wing.
wing.
you could see. Where they were. But you're right. The photo of the plane is crazy because basically, you see this huge freaking dent in it, or like a hole where it looks like it just went through it or something. I mean,
Yeah.
it looked like the drone could still be within the wing.
It was. They recovered the drone pieces, and it
Okay.
was in pieces.
So here's the crazy thing. DJI just announced they are not geofencing their drones anymore for anything.
really.
They are going fully unlocked now,
Wow.
where you can fly them over and into airports.
Wow.
And I'm like,
They're putting
no.
the responsibility on the consumer. However, it has
totally-
all still got remote ID. So every person flying a drone still has their identity tied to that drone,
Correct. Technically,
unless
that's
it's under
true.
250 grams.
Exactly. Which apparently the one that hit that plane. Apparently they're saying I don't have the best
It was
info.
it was the Air 3, which is a smaller drone. It's sub 250 grams.
So that didn't have the remote ID.
Yeah.
And so this is what. Yeah. So that's.
Yeah.
I honestly am not cool with this right now. Like,
Yeah.
having just done that Mario video where I'm flying around downtown, like, I truly did appreciate the warnings because I like to be a responsible pilot of drones. I don't want to screw something up. I don't want to crash into an aircraft. When we were up doing the wildfire video, for instance, you had a drone. You flew it around very safely,
Yeah.
making sure the airspace was clear, keeping line of sight with it.
Yeah.
Also,
I did all of the
even
proper things.
Before you took it off, you said, if anyone hears or sees anything flying in the air, let me know so we can land this and get it out of the way.
And I did say on camera that I'm doing this responsibly, and I'm looking around and making sure that there's no airplanes or helicopters in the area.
Exactly.
Flew the drone, and Nick made the executive decision to not include
Not even
the
put-
aerial footage in the video at all, because even though I'm doing everything safely, it's not going to matter
optics.
if people are like,
the
oh, you're...
cable, like the power cable, like everything's
Yeah.
optics. But like it's super weird. Like it's super weird because knowing how accessible these drones are. Like, anyone can get them. And, like, granted, yeah, sure, if you really want to get a drone that's not geofenced, you can do that, obviously. You know, but that's like...
You can't go out of your way to do it, though. Like,
That's like saying, oh, we shouldn't have gun control because if you really want to kill someone, you'll get a knife and do it. Like, obviously, if someone's determined to do something, they will find a way to do it. Like, I'm not saying that's not possible, but it's still worth having some forms of safety measures and precautions in the way.
Yeah.
Because I don't want a 13-year-old kid who's just got a new drone for Christmas flying it into my fucking airplane when I'm at the airport trying to take off.
100%. It's supposed to be the idiot-proof measures,
Exactly.
right?
Like,
it's very easy to build your own drone that doesn't have any of those sort of limitations. It's incredibly easy now. It didn't used to be, but now you can literally just very cheaply build a drone that can carry any kind of payload, and it has no sort of like geo-locking anything if you really wanted to do something.
Yeah.
Those measures are in place to prevent you from even accidentally
Yeah.
like, oh, I didn't realize I was in a restricted airspace. I was being stupid about it, and thank God that the restriction was there. I couldn't fly it.
Yeah, I mean, granted, they're still going to have like the little thing pop up and say, hey, watch out, you're flying into the CIA's headquarters. You know, like, it'll still have an alert, I guess. But still...
I have a feeling this is a response from DJI about
almost getting banned.
Yeah, getting banned and whatnot. It's like, all right, fine. We were trying to like help you out, but if you want to go down this route, fine. All right, backing off.
yeah.
It's like, oh, you want to call the shots, government? Like, okay, well, go prosecute all the people who are in no-fly zones instead of us, because it's a liability thing. Now suddenly they're like, oh, because if it's up to us to keep people from breaking the law, you know, now they have that liability where it's like, oh, hold on, this system was supposed to stop people from doing X, Y, Z, you know? And what I'm reading is like, yeah, it is like the gun control thing has striking similarities when it comes to like the political conversation around it, where you have people going, oh, wait a second, like we want to sue like gun manufacturers, but hold on, is the gun manufacturer liable for this? Because technically, you know, of the safety and the precautions and the laws, and you start to go down that rabbit hole now of like, who is truly at fault for this action? Is it the person, you know, is it the guy who made the knife? Or is it the guy, you know, who used it?
Yeah.
You know, so. What happened to my knee? Oh, I fell down in a movie theater.
I was actually going to ask, too. I was like, what'd you do to your knee?
Oh, this is funny. It's a really funny story. Like, I'm walking into a movie theater because, you know, we're seeing the Sonic movie. And like, I'm walking in, and like, I'm walking in,
You're
I
like, gotta go
look
fast.
up, and my daughter runs around me and then stops right in front of me as I'm
classic.
like carrying all this stuff so I can't see her. And she looks up and stops and looks at the screen. I just go boonk, and I bump into her. I'm holding all the popcorn and crap, and so rather than fall directly down and crush her, I go like, whoa, and I like try and like go around her a little bit, but it just ends up me basically like knee planting on the ground and then elbow planting with all the stuff, and so I managed to not crush her or spill. Well, I did spill quite a lot. The popcorn, I didn't hit the
all
popcorn,
of it. You didn't, like,
but it hit the
dump
ground,
it all.
and it's just that the kinetic force kind of going back up, basically made
Like a water
this-
splash.
It was like it's like a fountain of popcorn shooting up.
Then you caught it all back in the bucket when it came back down.
No, I was like, I just sat there like awkwardly because my knees really hurt.
And everyone in the movie theater
Everyone's
is just staring at you now?
Everyone's just like looking at me, and I'm like, I'm having a moment. I'm fine. Don't touch me. I slowly get up, give them the soda, and I like leave and I'm like, can I have more popcorn, please?
Oh my gosh.
Also, shout out to Jenna, whose birthday is today.
Happy birthday, Jenna.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know. Well, you can hear the story in the recorded version of the podcast.
Yeah, Sam actually went through the whole
Thing.
story.
I don't even know. I don't.
He totally
even know.
landed it. It was great. I guess
I did do a front roll. I threw the popcorn in the air. My daughter caught both. Nothing was spilled.
Both popcorns.
Just as the movie started and we sat in our seats and watched Keanu Reeves star as Shadow the Hedgehog, the only hedgehog that is bad and has a gun. He says bad words. I think he says damn.
Really?
No, he says hell.
Really?
He says the word hell.
He's like, I don't give a hell.
It's like, yeah, something. Yeah, to hell. I was born in hell, kind of. So yeah, super funny. It's it's a very cringy movie for like half of it, and then it's really funny for all the Jim Carrey scenes. He's like carrying the whole movie. He carries the whole movie. Like, and it's very clear that like
it's in the name.
Well, yeah, he carries. No, but like when his scenes start, you're like, it's like a breath of fresh air. You're like, oh, here's an actual scene that's gonna have some punchlines and beats in it, and then whenever his scenes end, you're like, oh god, like you're like, oh, back to the part where they just directed and shot what was on the script. Versus the scene where Jim Carrey walks in and is like, hey, wouldn't this be a better idea? And then they're like, yeah, and then they do it and it's way better. Like you can tell he brings that energy to those scenes.
Neo Rev says Jim carried.
Jim carried
that movie.
No, it's really funny. It's really good stuff. Highly recommended to watch if you have a child, but don't watch it alone if you're an adult.
Yeah.
So that is how Sam got that little scab on his knee.
The end.
Which looks like it may have been a bigger scab. I have a whole story to tell you guys off camera about my night last night. I got beat up, but I can't talk about it yet. So
Oh, what a cliffhanger.
yeah,
Oh.
you guys will find out in a month.
What a cliffhanger.
beat up. Beat. You got beat.
No, I mean, I'm just like it's just like I'm yeah, not like beat up.
Ren's starting a farm.
Yeah.
You guys learn more about it in a month.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wrestled Jenna and she
it was
won.
domestic, but not abuse.
Domestic consensual abuse.
Yeah. So, hey, did you guys hear the album I released? In,
Oh yeah,
early
like sleep
January?
music for Dark Lords.
Yeah.
I
Did you
liked
hear-
all your titles for
Your
them.
titles are amazing.
Yeah.
and the artwork associated
like
with
I
it.
was driving back from like Oregon. I was on the 101 driving through the forests, and like
Hell
I was
yeah.
like a lot of driving. It was a lot of hours in the car. It's just silently there. You know, the kids are watching the video or something on an iPad, and like I try and play podcasts, but there's nothing that I can't like play a podcast and this and there's too much going on. So I just sit there silently thinking for hours, and for some reason I was just like, you know, like bad guys don't have relaxing music. You know, ambient music is like all calm and, ooh, I'm meditating, I'm happy. It's like, no, what if you're like burning with hatred inside and need something that's there to like relax you and soothe you, but doesn't like do it in such like a trite, you know, way, so to speak. And so, yeah, obviously it's a joke, but but then I basically came back, and then from Christmas and over the next 2 days, I was just like, I just banged out like this little album, and it's, I don't know. Yeah, it was fun.
How'd you make the songs? Like, what was your process?
It's basically on Christmas night, everyone went to sleep, and I was like, okay, my time to shine. And I whip out a guitar, and I just like played like really chill ambient guitar for like a half hour.
Oh wow.
And the idea was like, okay, don't make any mistakes, and like just play things slowly. And I did that for like an hour and ended up with about a half hour of usable stuff.
Okay.
And so I chopped that up, spread it apart with big gaps between them, and then either like touched them up and added little songs in between it all. And that was basically the album. And
Dude, what?
yeah. Yeah. No, it's just like, you're like, oh, here's a nice chord. Okay. And then once again, it's sleep music. You don't want it to like jump out at you either. You want it to be a little bit repetitive. You want it to be a little bit slow, you know, so it's kind of, it's easy to do that basically. You're just like, oh, here, that's a cool chord. All right, here we go. Strum. 10 seconds pass. Strum. You know, so it's that plus like some silly medieval instruments and like fireplace ambience. Yeah, fireplace.wave, medieval town or medieval farm.wave, you know, kind of stuff.
It's cool. It's very like, it feels like you're playing Oblivion when you listen to that album.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, it was fun. It's really fun to make. And like, I was like, last year I did another ambient album as a joke because we were like, oh yeah, like I was seeing all these ambient albums that had millions and millions of plays on Spotify. I was like, I can do that. So I did the same thing last year, but like there was like zero traction because I think I made the songs too new agey or too they jumped out too much. They're too much like actual music and less of like actual like ambiance. So to speak, and I don't know, it was good to do, but definitely not like the perfect version.
But Sam, where can people listening or watching this podcast find your music?
Just Spotify it. Sleep
Well,
music,
like,
sleep
be
music
more
for Dark
detailed
Lords.
than that.
It's all Spotify. So all my
Where
stuff,
on Spotify?
you just type sleep music for Dark Lords.
There you go. There you go.
No, yeah, no. I for all the ambient stuff,
Or just type in Sam Gorski.
no. Well, Sam Gorski brings my metal stuff, but Memory Chamber is my
Oh.
is my
Memory
ambient.
chamber.
Well, yeah, it was like,
Okay.
it was like a joke. It was like started as a joke. It still is a joke. It's just it's a different type of joke. Previously, it was like, here's a joke about ambient music. So Memory Chamber is like another like throwaway ambient music band name. But now it's I don't know. I'm taking the joke seriously, basically.
That's what you got to do.
I'm seriously joking around.
Yeah.
So the artist profile is Memory Chamber on Spotify.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
people will be able to find your chill, Dark Lord ambience
Yeah,
album.
yeah, exactly.
Cool.
I think it's great background music, and it's great sleep music too. Actually, it put me to sleep. It was so good.
Have you heard
Sick.
about the Spotify like background music, lo-fi, whatever AI music conspiracy?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Wait,
So-
what is this?
So a lot of people, just put on like lo-fi, chill hop, whatever in the background or ambient music, and it's just in the background for hours and hours and hours throughout the day. And a lot of stuff is kind of interchangeable and it's kind of just there in the distance. And so Spotify has been found with AI music in these playlists at
Okay.
some point. Like when it just generates a playlist, at a certain point, it goes from what looks like artists to AI music.
Okay.
And the thought is that Spotify is experimenting with putting in AI music for background music at a certain point because they don't have to pay royalties then when the music plays.
I have heard this theory.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's
Conspiracy theory.
Conspiracy theory or not, the thing is that Spotify is still one company versus all. Once again, we talked about this yesterday on our. We filmed an AI, scams
AI
adjacent
debunking.
video, and it's this thing where users are doing that too. Like, there's no.
Yeah.
It's not like it's just even if Spotify was doing it, they are not the only people doing it. But as far as extending playlists is concerned, like I have yet to listen to it. But that's the thing. Personally, they need to integrate a specific zero AI music policy on Spotify. You can't do that. Like, you're not like that's not content. You know what I mean? Like, AI music is not music. It's like specifically. It's like, I mean, you could say the same for
Like purely generated AI music.
like for that matter, you could say AI art that is purely generated from a prompt is not art.
exactly, you can't copyright it.
You know what I'm saying? You can't
Yeah.
copyright it, and that's why they should not be hosting this stuff on these platforms. Because if you want to listen to AI music, you just go generate what you want to listen to. Don't pay someone money on a platform to hear something by an artist. I think it's like total bullshit. Like, sure, I use the AI pictures for like the album art, but once again, that's not the art. Like, the art is just a requirement to get it uploaded on Spotify. That's why I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go crazy on the artwork for it. It's just gonna whatever, fuck it. I just listen to the music. That's the product here. Not this like little tiny like thumbnail, like literally thumbnail sized image that's gonna be in the background there.
Yeah. Well, like there's a difference between like just hitting, I don't know, chill hop, generate, song, upload, do it in giant batches to get as much money as you can. It's like there's a difference between that and like somebody like getting samples and editing things together and making a song and with AI music. Like, it's the problem is like all these systems are built on the idea that content is scarce. And so they pay for content.
Yeah.
And now we're getting to a point where you can generate artificial content, so that scarcity is going away. And you can right now the system's incentivizing people to just dump this stuff. Just kind of like how we had like Temu dumping like $2 tchotchkes,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the same thing.
No, you're right. Well, that's it's like this weird. It's social media as a concept backfiring.
Right.
Where we talked. We were just literally talking about this yesterday, which is crazy. So I don't want to get into it too deep, but
Yeah. No, the winds will shift. They always do.
the winds will shift.
Yes.
Yeah,
El
but
Niño,
yeah,
El Niña.
the thing is that's the thing. It's like they need like these companies need to like have that be a policy though, for there to be.
But it's hard to police that.
Yeah, that's very
Yeah,
true.
but the thing is that like from a but it's a principle standpoint.
Okay.
The content has no value if people aren't making it. That's like, why would you pay a service to literally hear just computer generated stuff, like so to speak? Like it's.
What happens when the computer generated stuff sounds as good or better than real artists?
Then the winds change.
Well, I guess the winds will change, but currently we're not there.
It's very true. I'm not sure it will ever quite sound as good as real artists because I feel like I don't know. It depends on what people are seeking in their art. At the end
I
of
mean,
the day.
Sure, yeah.
You know what? I think. Okay, here's the thing. I don't know when that's gonna happen because this is the hard thing to like talk about because you're like, okay, well, with ChatGPT scripts, or like Midjourney or things like that. Like, what along the path there are you willing to pay for? Are you willing to pay someone else to make a Midjourney image for you, or are you willing to pay Midjourney to make them yourself?
I'm willing to pay Midjourney to make them myself. I'd only pay somebody else to make it for me if like I'm like, here's a very specific thing I need to do. I need you to go through thousands of generations to find me the thing I'm looking for.
Well, I'm just saying,
You
if
know?
you paid somebody, you said, "Hey, I make me some art," and then they gave you a piece of art back, and you discovered it was made with Midjourney, would you feel like you were betrayed? You're like, paint me a painting. I want like a painting of a cool horse on a mountain because my mom loves horses and I want to give her a gift. And the artist says, "Okay, I'll do that." And you discover they used AI to create it instead of painting it.
Actually, I'll
But
throw.
that sounds more like you wanted an actual painting, even if it's a digital painting. You wanted like the hand craftsmanship more than the image itself in that situation.
Well, no. Well, I mean, forget what I. Well, this is.
I'm just saying it's like
yeah,
I wanted to get
I'm
my
asking-
mom a
this
piece
is-
of art. The artwork is the fact that you know a lot of creative effort went into it. But if at the end of the day it's like I just wanted an image to slap up somewhere, I couldn't care less if it was AI generated or not.
Well, sure, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, let's say you commission somebody,
Yeah.
$200 to make a picture as a gift, a painting, and you received it back, and you're like, "This looks cool," and then you discovered, wait a second, even though I thought it looked cool, I also realized that they didn't actually paint it.
I think it comes down to the quality, honestly. Like, if somebody delivers a picture and like, this is a $200 picture, it almost doesn't really matter how they got to it because you'd be hard pressed to find
Well,
anybody.
I'm asking you. I'm not asking like.
No, like if
You know what I mean?
If I paid somebody $200 for like to deliver me a digital picture painting of a horse, not like not with oil paints, but like just give me a JPEG, but a sick picture. I would expect them to give me something really cool. And if they manage to achieve it with Midjourney, and by the way, I've seen a lot of Midjourney pictures, and you're going to be hard pressed to like impress me with a Midjourney picture, And I think that's the thing with AI art. AI art is just naturally formulaic because it's literally taking the average of everything.
It's by definition derivative.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, so it's like you can still make art with AI stuff, but it is extremely difficult unless you have good controls that introduce your human vision and direction, at which point you're just making art like anybody else with software. It's like that's the thing. If somebody just prompts something and they give me the first image, it's probably not going to be very good, and I would be disappointed. Compared
if,
with them
like,
painting something.
Like what we did for rock, paper, scissors, where it's like regenerated something, but we took it so many levels further than that. If I paid $200
Okay, but
for a commissioned piece of artwork and I learned it was originally AI generated, but he still put hours of effort on top of that, I would feel a little differently.
Okay. Well, sure. I guess I don't feel like you've quite answered what my question though.
If I paid an artist $200
like Jenna,
to
so something that Jenna likes.
Sure, and I gave this artist
If
$200.
she's here listening, so she can weigh in too.
So I commissioned this piece of artwork for $200, and the artist gives me this picture, and then I learn he literally spent less than 5 minutes on it by just generating something off of a prompt. Yes, I would feel betrayed.
Okay, that's it. That's all my.
But because I feel like that wasn't worth $200 for 5 minutes of effort. Now, if he put 5 minutes of effort to generate a plate and then put many hours of all of his experience into grading it the right way, replacing parts of the image with something better, touching it up, getting a little bit more less generic contrast that AI images have, giving it some
the artistic
purpose
touch.
then it becomes something different, and then I'm like, okay.
That's when AI is
okay.
a tool, in my opinion. And I think
Exactly.
it's okay to have AI as a tool in your workflow, 100%. But if somebody just prompts something, gives me the first
this is
result.
this is what I'm saying. Like ultimately, but just right there, we've moved beyond it. As far as like this initial thing, and what we're seeing, going back to this original example of Spotify and that whole thing. That's not what we're talking about. People are literally uploading Suno AI tracks. They're going to the Suno AI website. They're looking at the popular stuff that people are already making, and then they're literally just re-outputting the same popular prompts and uploading them to Spotify. So everyone's uploading the same 2 damn songs.
Yeah, that's no good.
Because it's uncopyrightable. And so the service is getting spammed with filler bullshit AI content that is not made by people.
I mean, it's what's been happening to text on the internet for the past 4 years, news articles and all that kind of stuff. Like the internet's just been spammed with media, news, etc. Just Chat GPT generated.
Exactly, but
articles.
Now
it's happening in
very
music.
specifically. It is a paid service.
Yeah,
that is unethical.
And that's also a comment brings up, and it's very different. What about a professional that has honed their craft and can produce amazing results in a short amount of time? That is a different story. that is also, there's a lot of respect for that too. It's like you have all this experience and you're able to do something very efficiently and it's good. Even if you're, let's say I commissioned a $200 painting and he did actually paint the whole thing in 5 minutes.
I would
That's
be a little
incredible.
disappointed.
Really? I mean, if it was really good
I'd
and
be like, I want to see your 10-minute painting. Come on.
okay, well, sure. But my point is
I'll
that
give you
like,
$200.
that's a different context though. If
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a world-class painter and he can make something really, really good in 5 minutes, I'd be really impressed.
I mean, there's something to be said for like the signature, you know, like the
Yeah.
artist behind it. Because like, if you approached Banksy and Banksy turned around and gave you a Mid-Journey prompted picture and signed it, I would probably be okay with paying $200 for that.
because it's a Banksy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, but that's the thing. The whole like, oh, people don't know the difference. You know, it's like, oh, if you like it, it's good. Then it's good. It's like, no, that.
Actually, I just realized that's super ironic and totally something Banksy would do. Is just generate a Mid-Journey picture, take the very first one, put his name on it, and sell it.
That, I mean, I can.
All right,
I
Banksy,
can
if you do
see
that, you owe
being-
me
'cause
10%.
Yeah, I think the whole argument of like, hey, well, if it's good and people like it, then what's the big problem? You know, like that mindset, when you apply that to other areas of life, the argument quickly falls apart. That's like saying something like, hey, well, look, everyone's eating this junk food. Like, and if they like it, what's the big problem? It's like, well, hold on. There's like, we're talking about, like, you can obviously inject corn syrup into food to make it taste better, but is it actually making it better for you? You know what I mean? And so like, oh, but people like eating it. It's like, so what's the big problem? It's like, well, the problem is you are making a society unhealthy by using these practices, so to speak. So I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, I just think people generally don't like just generic AI content because it's formulaic and derivative, and by
Yeah.
mathematical nature, that is what it is. You cannot change the nature of it.
Formula.
Like, it is going to be that, and will never evolve away from that. That is just how it has to be because of the mathematics it's built on.
Yep, totally. But
So
that being
you
said, there's
have
a lot
to-
of numbers, so they can make a lot of different things.
Right, exactly. You can pump out mid content.
Here's another good question. What happens when someone is suspected of using AI when they actually never did?
Then they're innocent.
Then people should be judging the work, not their imagined process of it.
Yeah, we're also approaching a point where AI is just being, I mean, we're at this point. AI is being used as a catch-all for anything that's not real.
Yeah.
Like, so many CG shots now are like, oh, that's AI. And it's like, no, this was still handcrafted. This is still actually like a lot of effort and artistic intent
Yeah.
went into this thing. It's not AI. This is a CG render.
Exactly. And people are saying, oh, this is CGI when it's actually just VFX, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, also, real talk. If people are accusing your work of being AI, maybe you got to work on your aesthetics a little bit.
True. Well, also, actually, the real answer is you use OBS as you're making your art, so you can show people time lapses.
Yeah, time lapse it.
Yeah. Anyways, good times. Good times. Great times.
What if AI produces spectacularly compelling content? What then?
Then up
Then
your
enjoy
standards.
it. Have a good time with it.
That's
Enjoy
the
it.
Jan
Who gives
argument
a
is that, like, if it's good,
Yeah.
then it's good.
Guess
No,
what?
I know.
I play video games. That's basically AI, but a different kind of AI. You know?
Elaborate.
I like
Artificial intelligence.
He likes how the NPCs move. He's just
Exactly.
like, they
Okay,
got
that's
good
what you mean.
moves.
Gotcha.
There's AI in video games. There's been AI in video games forever. It's a different type of AI, but it's also still like generating experiences in conflict, and you know.
Yeah, we stuff used to be procedural, and there's not. It's kind of a fine line between AI generated and procedural.
Right.
It's just the type of
Like
system
Helldivers.
it is.
Helldivers is all procedural.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's procedural.
Yeah.
But I guess it's when you take a procedural system and add AI to it that it's now not. I don't know. Where am I
Well,
getting?
people
at
use
with that?
actual machine learning for NPCs though, like
Yeah.
core, like these the NPCs in a shooter they've used machine learning to create those models. And granted, it's much more like primitive than Mid-Journey, so to speak, or like anything else. But yeah, that's machine learning.
Yeah. And I can't believe it took until 2025 for somebody to make a video game like Helldivers, where the levels are procedurally
2024.
generated. I guess 2024. Yes, you're right. The levels are procedurally generated. The bombs leave craters. The trees get cut down. The buildings fall over. Like all the things that you want to happen in a game. Like I feel like every video game has like done one of those things, but there has been like a game where just it all comes together.
I never played Helldivers. I never got into it.
Oh man, when the bugs are running at you
Everyone enjoys it.
when the bugs
All
are
my
running at
friends
you in
like
the
it.
forest,
A lot
you
of
throw a
fun.
cluster bomb out and it chops down all the trees and revealing all the bugs splattering, and then like the
Or you
machine
drop
guns
the
drop.
500 like kiloton
500 bomb.
and like the frame rate goes like for like a moment. Like I'm like, oh, and the whole screen goes white. Like, oh, that's a big bomb. Like I don't know why there's not a straight up nuclear bomb. There needs to be a nuke.
Yeah.
Like a true like the hell bombs.
Well, they do have nukes, but they happen far away.
Yeah, they happen very far away, but I think they need to happen a little closer. Because I feel like this is the one thing the game's missing.
Man, we were playing a few nights ago, and it's weird that the game still surprises me, but like I had thrown down some machine gun turrets, and it's now like the zombie, like what are they called? What are those? The voteless
Illuminids or something.
The Luminits. Yeah, the votelesses.
The votelesses.
And I died, and I'm coming back down to my hell pod, and I just see the ground lit up by these giant muzzle flashes of these machine guns. They're shooting into these like hordes of zombies.
Well, it's so good. Yeah,
So good.
everyone went full turret. Everyone had at least one or two turrets. So at one point, it's like we have 4 players all shooting their guns, and then on top of that, they each have 1 to 2 other turrets shooting guns.
and then the lasers.
And then the lasers are happening and stuff.
God.
So you look down, you're just seeing like basically a wall of like up to 12 like muzzle flashes going, like, shooting everything, and it's so cool.
Yeah, because they all have lighting.
God, it's so
like
cool.
everything's chunking, and like it's like the game where they actually made everything do what it's supposed to do in a video game. Yeah,
Yeah, it's so sick. It's such a good game.
I was playing Rivals last night.
It's a good time.
Marvel Rivals, and
Okay, everyone keeps talking about this game.
It's Overwatch.
it's
over
Overwatch,
Wolverine.
but
Marvel
really
characters.
well
I
made
never played Overwatch either.
with all the
Honestly, I
characters.
hate to say that. Maybe I'm not good at it yet, so I don't like it. But I'm just like I feel like it's kind of like it's like one of those games where nothing happens. Like
It's like
one-
Smash Brothers. You have to
No,
kind of
Smash Brothers is like, well, bam, you smash someone and they're out. Versus this one, we're like, and they disappear. And you're like, did I get a kill?
That's because you don't have the right team comp, and you're not playing with your
Did I get a right
teammates.
kill? Well, I only play with you and Dean.
Yeah,
I just like I
you have some good moments as Punisher. You got like
I know, but I feel like the game lacks the visceral effect of like actually making progress or like getting a kill or something like that.
I know what you're saying.
Because the guns are so like.
Are you guys playing on PC or?
I
you
am,
know.
yeah. Well, the game's like made. It's built like a MOBA in the sense where it's like
Yeah.
if you're playing 1 versus 5, if you're seeing a bunch of people and you're starting to shoot them, you'll never get a kill because everybody's healing all the time. So you kind of get this feeling that like you're useless by yourself. And I totally feel like so when
Yeah.
I first started playing the game, I had the same feeling. Like, why would I play this? Like, I can't kill anybody. And then you like once you start getting coordinated with your team, and you steamroll another team, it's like, oh, I get it now. So that's
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that.
yeah.
Man,
We
I don't have time for video games anymore.
Because of getting how when you get beat up, you get
Yeah.
beat up too often.
But we were playing last night, and for the first time we had 6 people all together. There was no random people on the team, and we got our butts kicked. We lost every
Oh.
game
What?
until it put us in a lobby with bots.
Yikes.
And we're like, I think these are robots. We tried talking to them, and no one would talk back. And we're like, yep, yeah, because when you pair up with people, it tends to put you in a lobby with other people who are paired up with 6 people. So we ended up going up against a lot of really experienced 6-player teams.
I am kind of looking forward to having AI generated NPCs in games. Like
I am
let's-
too.
Like let's say I'm playing Skyrim or whatever the next Elder Scrolls game is, or whatever the next one after that is. And it's like every NPC you run into, their dialogue is being generated on the spot to react to your decisions.
I know. I
would
think that's
love
cool
that.
too. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like not even like we don't need like the AI story, so to speak, but you need that little tiny element there
the reactionary
that,
aspect.
yeah.
that just makes
The
it so
interaction.
that there's a tiny bit of consistency and uniqueness, so that the context always works.
You know how they're training, like ChatGPT has trained their large language model to like look at pictures and describe what's in the picture, or to like listen to audio and
Yeah.
be able to work off that. They need to make that for video game states, where it can just look at the video game state around a character and be like, oh, that guy shot an arrow at this guy, and he was like low on health, or whatever. It's like being able to do that for video game characters, then have them be like, hey, traveler, nice armor. I have something that can buff that. It's like where they can specifically talk to you about what's happening. That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But it would have to all be run locally on the
That's
PlayStation
fine.
7.
You can do that. No, like they have, like Facebook has their Facebook. I'm gonna keep calling it Facebook forever. They have their large language models that have
Llama?
like 7 billion parameters, 3 billion parameters. Like you can train
Sure.
some small models. Like Apple's trying to do it for the phone right now.
Yeah.
They haven't quite got there. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, Jan was at CES last week and completely missed out on Hell on Earth here in LA, so he's very sad about it. But while he was at CES, he saw a lot of cool tech. One of them was their glasses with a little heads-up display on them.
Yeah, you told me
that
about
has a built-in LLM running locally on it that is transcribing what people around you are saying, so it's reading it off on you. So it's like if you're deaf, you could put on these glasses.
It's subtitles.
It's subtitles in real
subtitles
life.
IRL, and they're working on translating it as well. So if you're in a foreign country, you could put these on. Someone will talk to you, and you'll be able to read what they're saying, and you can immediately respond
It's
without
such
having
a-
to like
that's
wait for
an invention
audio
right
conversion.
there. That's such a good idea.
That's sweet. Yeah.
And then I think he also mentioned it was kind of predicting what people would be saying. So like as they'd start their sentence, it would guess the whole sentence, so the whole sentence would pop up
Oh boy,
like a TV show, and then it would just
I didn't
update
see that
it
part. Oh man,
as they would talk to like hone it in.
That's crazy. That's super
Yeah,
cool.
Closed captions.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah. Well, I played Wukong. I played that a ton over the break, and even still, I'm still playing it.
what type of game is Wukong?
Wukong is like it's like Dark Souls, but
Third person fighter. Like
It's third person fighter. It's a little Dark Soulsy because there's like tons of boss battles that are pretty unforgiving.
it's like
Okay.
mostly boss battles.
It's a boss fight game. That it's like I've never played a boss fight game, and but
Elden Ring wouldn't
Yeah.
really be a boss fight
no,
game.
because there's lots of little guys in between the bosses, and there's
Sure,
like
okay.
some guys in between. But sometimes
There are a lot of bosses in
You
Elden Ring,
go.
but-
Sometimes you just straight up go boss to boss to boss, and it's crazy.
boss
Yeah.
to boss.
And like a cinematic plays, you're like, oh snap, another boss. But it's the first like mega Unreal Engine 5 game that
Yeah.
I've ever played. Anyway, I mean, I'm sure there's other ones out there, but it's the first like, oh, here is every next gen feature of Unreal Engine 5 happening on our screen. Everything from like full grooms of hair simulations on all the characters. We have real time fog and smoke that's happening everywhere. We have nanite happening, so every single environment is made out of millions and millions and millions of polygons of photo scans and everything. It is just
Lumen.
So it's got lumen for the lighting. It's got everything going on in it, and not to mention
So
like
beautiful.
the gameplay is actually good and it's sweet.
Okay.
It's like they did all the tutorials at their game.
They did
company.
all the
They did all the
tutorials.
tutorials.
And it's the most mind-blowing game I've ever played because it's just like it works. Like visually, every single frame looks like a frame from like a Love, Death, and Robots kind of short film.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, oh my god, this is CGI. Like this is crazy. And then on top of that, like the combat's sick, and it's all like Chinese mythology. So.
So I have no idea what's going on.
So you're like, yeah, you're like, I don't know any of these guys, but like I saw them on like a mat or like a placemat at a Chinese restaurant. You know,
Yeah.
like someone's had that. Yeah, like
like, I
I've seen
think
this
I've
on a
seen this monkey
tapestry
guy
in a
before.
museum. You know, it's
Yeah.
that kind of truly, it's that vibe where you're like, oh, those cool like rolling hills and mountains and little trees and the monkey guy and there's this.
I feel the same way about like Hindu gods. Or, like
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what any of them.
Yeah,
have done.
yeah. None of
Yeah.
them. Although it was funny, I was reading a Monsters and Beasts book to my kids, and Sun Wukong was one of the monsters, and I was like, "That's cool." And maybe that's what made me play the game. I was like, "Wukong." Oh, I need to play the coolest game in the. But yeah, it's so intense. Like my neighbor came over. Their kids are friends with my kids, and I was like, "Dude, you just here's a controller. Just watch the first like 10 minutes of this game and play it." And so he sits down, and like the giants are there, like like kilometer tall giants are like there, and the guys are fighting, and then like
Whoa.
And you fight on a cloud, like it's all
the
layer
first
cloud.
level is a
so as you're
cloud.
swinging your bow staff, it's all
Whoops.
volumetric,
It's
and the
all
clouds get
real-time
whisked up, and you're like,
Oh man.
and
Yeah.
it's like there's like a
pretty
wall of like kilometer tall giants like watching this battle, like marching towards you, and you're like fighting this guy.
Can I play this on PS5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon stuff where suddenly like the fight happens and it goes through a cinematic and the weapons they get thrown at each other and the weapons just start fighting on your own. And you're like, oh my god, yes, this is so. It's like the most over the top. And then like there's a part where like he takes his axe and he's gonna hit like the monkey guy, and then he takes the axe and it goes magic style, and you realize, wait, the axe is growing, and suddenly the axe is like 1,000 feet tall, and he swings it, and you're like, oh man, like it's just it's like everything. I played a little bit of God of War, the new one. and
I've
it's
never
cool.
gotten into God of War.
I know, and it's cool, but like it's missing that like whoa, like you're truly
Yeah.
gods. Like in God of War, they're like way too mortal.
Yeah.
It's like way too just like buff guys fighting versus this, which is like, yeah, no, like this is psycho magic, everything. Like anything can happen here.
Yeah.
You know? And also that since it's all like Eastern mythology, just like everything looks different. You're not used to seeing all like the weird big Buddha bead guys bonking their head on you and stuff
Yeah.
and shooting magic energy thing, you know.
Did you guys watch?
Sorry. Anyways, that's it.
We're gonna start a different.
I was going to talk about God of War for a second.
It's
Well,
so
because
cool.
I'm
Dunk on it
completely
for just a
changing the
little
topic.
Dude,
Well,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
The game's super sick.
Yeah,
That's
I
my
don't need
next
to.
play.
I don't need to talk about how I didn't like God of War. You can go ahead and talk.
The Amazon show Secret Level. I watched all of it.
Oh, yeah?
It is so good. It is so good.
God, I still
It
haven't
is so
seen it. I
good.
still have not seen it.
They're like,
Good,
I
hold off
watched
until
a few
React on
episodes and they're
Thursday.
pretty good. And then I watched a few more episodes. I was like, wow, these are still really good. And then I finished all of them. I was like, dang, these are all really good. A couple of them are like there's, yeah. But overall, I was incredibly impressed, both from a visual standpoint and from an entertainment standpoint.
Is the Warhammer one short enough to watch the in entirety on the show? Is it 10 minutes long or something?
We could watch all the good parts. Like we're basically going to clip off like the first minute.
The Warhammer one's the only one I watched twice.
Because I feel like I'm just
so
gonna
good.
watch that one before tomorrow. Because
No, that's I want you to watch
I
it
know,
live
but I
on
don't
the
want
show.
to see. I
No,
like
you
I
no.
like the in-between
I'm going to
parts.
defend Sam on this one. You should watch it the first time with a proper sound system and
Yeah.
a proper experience. Watching it in the bastardized
I'll
way
film
we do
myself
on React
watching
is
it, so
not
I'm
the
like,
way to
"What?"
interpret it.
I just don't want to like. I do like the little mini beats, like in Astartes. Like I like the quiet moments in Astartes too. Like I kind of dig that stuff. Like I want to just see like the slow scene of the weird skeleton head.
The Keanu Reeves
Floating
episode
around.
was also really good.
What?
You watch any of the other ones?
The Keanu Reeves.
That's a
episode.
Cyberpunk one, right?
No.
No?
I mean, yeah, I was a little. He's a mech warrior.
Oh.
He's a mech pilot. But
I
it's
didn't know
like
that
it's yeah,
Shadow
it's-
the Hedgehog's in Secret Level.
Shadow. That was the funniest thing about that movie, by the way.
But there was this one where it was like this
Armored Core. Is it an Armored
I think
Core
it was
one?
I think
Japanese.
so.
That's kinda
And basically, the city is being run by this master AI, and this guy tries to challenge the master AI for control of the city by playing this game. But it was like I don't even know how to describe it more than that. It was all like really fascinating. I feel like Nico tends to be kind of jaded about some of this type of stuff, so you'll watch some of these and be like, eh.
I've watched two of them so far. I watched the Unreal Tournament one and the Warhammer one.
There's an
Yeah.
Unreal Tournament theme.
The
one?
Unreal
Yeah.
Tournament one was also made
Oh.
entirely in Unreal.
Was it really?
Entirely in
Of
Unreal.
course
that's
it
so
was.
impressive. Well, they
How
probably
could
just
you
use like
not?
the regular
How could you not?
ray tracing and rendering.
There's
stuff.
there's a whole I mean yeah I don't know, but it was all like real time. They showed a breakdown. I
It's
watched
real
this
time?
like 45-minute breakdown.
that's crazy.
It was like at some panel type thing, and their requirement was that they had to use Unreal Engine for all of it, and it was mostly all real time. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Mostly all real
Obviously,
time.
all the assets and
Real
stuff are
time
made
is,
in
by
like.
the way, one of those like it's one of those. How do I say it?
Let me
runs
rephr-
at
they
10
weren't
frames
using
per
the
second.
ray tracer, I think.
Let's say Son of a Dungeon was rendered in real time using the real time renderer. Each frame took longer than one frame's length of time, though. You know
Okay,
what I'm
that
saying?
is a good point, Sam.
Like a second took like 1.5 seconds.
But
to
it wasn't
render.
like they were setting up the path tracing for like traditional render pipelines. They actually showed them rendering out one of the shots, and it was the classic, like the little thing pops up with like the green text and red text, and
Yep.
it was rendering all the different layers and stuff to be composited later.
Yeah, I mean, technically, in a sense, that it is real time, but that's like your 3000 GPU rendering that as a playable scene. You know?
Yeah, it wasn't like it wasn't playback real time.
Yeah.
And yeah, that one was okay. That was the only one I thought that like it was. The story was like.
Wait, there's an Outer Wilds episode? Wait,
Oh,
what?
the Outer Wilds one was weird.
Stop it. Stop. Okay.
Wait,
What?
there's an Outer Wilds.
No,
episode?
Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds?
God,
Outer Worlds.
I was excited. for
Outer
a second.
Worlds is that?
Outer Worlds is just a
Worlds
game
was-
that everybody forgot about.
I played a little
It's
bit
Outer
of it.
Worlds,
and it was-
not Outer
Outer Worlds
Wilds.
was fine, but it was a little it was like Scavenger's Reign mixed with Fallout. And I think actually that's a very accurate description.
The Concord episode is that? How's the Concord episode?
Didn't they delete it?
Did they deleted the game? Yes.
No, they deleted the Concord episode.
No.
I don't remember the Concord episode. Which one was that about?
I think Concord is up there. Is like 2024's two hits: Megalopolis and Concord.
Yeah.
the game.
Seriously.
Like,
I'm
I don't
talking-
know, I don't
I
know
want-
anything about the game, but I do.
It's just like, it's just a thing that everyone spent like a decade working on $400 million, and then they canceled it in the first week.
Then Marvel Rivals came out.
Oh yeah, sorry. Outer Wilds episode would have been way cool.
Yeah, Outer Wilds is one of my favorite games. Oh, that was this one. Yeah, this was good. It was okay. This was Concord. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, some of them, the stories on some of them are a little forgettable. I was also watching them like late at night, and when they're like 7 to 10 minutes long, watching them back to back, it's kind of hard to internalize some of them. But like most of them are all very dope.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, well, sweet.
Yeah, the Pac-Man one was weird. Through the whole thing, I'm like, how is this Pac-Man? And then at the end, you're like, okay, I see it. All right. All right.
He's a hungry boy in a haunted house.
Pac-Man is evil. He's an evil AI villain.
Okay.
It makes sense in the thing.
Sweet. I'll watch the Concord one first.
Scavenger's Reign.
I think we've talked about it.
We've talked about it a few times, I think. It's also incredibly dope.
That's a
very
cool.
Took me a while to get through the end of it, though.
Show, yeah. Well, it's like a slow burn show, too,
Yeah.
where you like, I watched an episode, and then I came back like 2 or 3 weeks later and watched another one. It's like, still great.
I'm just surprised how many
You know?
episodes there were. Like I said, in episode 20, it's like, wow, this is a big boy.
Yeah, it's a big old show, but it's great. I never even finished it, but it's
Oh, you
okay.
didn't?
It doesn't matter. It's still one of the best shows ever.
It has a great ending. It's pretty good.
See, I can just come back to it anytime.
Yeah.
And there's still more episodes.
Jenna was not too big a fan. She was like, this is a little too weird.
It's weird.
Yeah, Ivy didn't watch it with me either.
Yeah, it's like you don't like the weird stuff. What, you don't love just jamming your hand down the plant's throat to pull out a weird orb to make you float or whatever?
I like those
Just a
birds
boys
that would
thing,
fly up
Yeah,
and
yeah.
land on the side of like that big white tower plant thing and then just like mold into it.
Yeah.
Meld
Remember
into it.
That one sequence in the middle of the series where they're going through like that wall thing, and like that woman's walking along, she stops and looks over, and there's like a little flower that opens, and there's a little dude that walks up and like lays down and dies, and like this whole thing happens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And like this like long sequence plays out for like minutes, and then she's like, "Whoa!" Just like same reaction you have watching the show. You're like, "Whoa!" And then the guy's like, "What are you doing? Come on, we gotta go." She's like, "Okay, that was crazy." And then that was
And
it.
then that was it. I think Scavenger's Reign is on Netflix now. When I watched it, it was still on HBO. It launched on HBO.
I think they're going to make another season of that.
Giant
feels like,
hedge wall.
I hope they do, but
see.
last I heard, it was like fully canceled and the people working on
they
it
put
moved
like
on.
I saw there's like a little season 2 kind of show reel kind of
Really?
thing that they put out.
I could just see being exhausted after making that show. Like it feels like the show where they put everything they had into it, regardless of the budget they had. Where everybody's like, "This is it. This is gonna be our masterpiece."
It's a very weird art style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
At
I feel
first,
like
I was like, what is this art style?
after that, it'd be very hard to make a second one. I'd
Yeah,
just be like,
it's kind of like you're like, I was like, how many more ideas can I even think of?
Yeah, Scavenger's Reign has like some of the coolest and most interesting imaginations of what it would be like to be on a foreign planet with a vast, diverse ecosystem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like nature. What would alien nature look like?
Yeah.
It's very, very diverse here on Earth. All kinds of different animals and plants and bugs and all kinds of different things. What is just another version? Like, just re-roll the dice. What would that look like?
yeah. It's kind of refreshing to have a show where the aliens aren't just bipedal humans with like face paint.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That was what actually kept me away from Star Trek for the longest time.
Really?
It's like after seeing Star Wars first before seeing Star Trek, and like seeing cool alien designs in the cantina that like are truly alien designs. And I was also really into sci-fi books, so they all have these crazy paintings on them and stuff, like
Sure.
cool concepts. Star Trek it always felt like it's just people with face paint. I can't get over it. Like these aren't aliens; they're just people with face paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all in the writing.
Exactly. It's just at the end of the day, it's a stage play.
Yeah. Like Megalopolis.
Yeah.
God,
Megalopolis.
Is
That wasn't
Megalopolis coming out
sophisticated
this
enough.
weekend?
No's out.
No. Our
No,
video,
our
React
episode
video.
on it.
Oh.
Our React episode.
That was a good time.
I'm very jealous because I've watched that. Well, that movie is so good.
Jordan Allen put together a 21.5-minute reel of all like the bits that
There's
we
so
wanted
many
to look
bits.
at.
There's so many
and
bits.
it was like we had all these other things planned to film for this React episode, and this was going to be like the first third of it, and we spent over 2 hours
Yeah.
looking at this 20-minute clip.
No, I know.
And it was like, well, this is the whole episode.
No,
Like,
I'm
this
so
is-
glad. It truly deserves an episode.
And
It's
that-
so out there.
It was also our last day in the studio
Yes.
before Christmas, and so we had our Christmas party that night. And it was here in the studio, and so I just put the video back up and I put it on loop, and it played on loop through the whole party that night.
God dang. Okay, maybe that's not good though.
There's that one moment when Aubrey Plaza's character gets shot in the chest by an arrow, and
It's like a really tiny arrow.
Yes.
but it was like it's the only thing out of the whole movie's bizarre, but. Whatever that dude's name is, the old guy in the bed.
John Voight.
John
yeah.
Voight. That moment with John Voight is
Steve,
the
it's
most,
not spoilers. It's not spoilers.
There's no such thing as spoilers.
Sarlos, it's not spoilers.
You can't spoil
They're
this
not
movie.
spoilers.
It's such a grand movie that nothing can be spoiled.
No, these aren't
within it.
spoilers. What you're hearing
the movie
here,
doesn't make sense anyway. It can't be spoiled when
Sorry,
it's all
by the
just
time that
random
happens in the
noise.
movie, you're not like waiting for that moment to happen.
Yeah. Also, it's what we're describing here. It pales in comparison. It's like being like, oh, in the room, the one scene where they're throwing the football around, or he goes on the roof and says hi, Mark. Like, that doesn't at all.
It's like me telling you a joke from a stand-up show I saw last night. It's
Yeah.
like I'll tell you the version, but you have to be there and for it to be funny.
Yeah. Megalopolis is unspoilable.
Like, I can literally tell you exactly how the movie ends, and it will not change your enjoyment of the movie at all.
Yeah, nothing will change. Yeah,
One does not spoil Megalopolis. Megalopolis spoils you.
Yes, truly, it's one of those few movies. It's like The Room. It's like, oh, you
Yeah.
spoiled The Room for me.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know it was possible to have another movie that is like, it's such like, again, I've only watched 21 minutes of this movie, a very compressed movie, and I'm like, I keep saying, it's like, I'm so confused by what's going on, and everyone's like, I've seen the movie, and you're not missing it. We're all confused here.
Yeah.
None of this makes sense.
Yeah, it's not that nothing gets spoiled because nothing is permanent. It's truly just a crazy film. It's a crazy artsy film. I don't know if anybody here remembers on the chat remembers Saho, the Indian film that we looked at.
Yeah, so
Saho.
Like, we did that for React. Like, that movie's insane, and it just I have no other way to describe it.
you can't spoil Saho either. You're
Yeah,
like,
you can't spoil
but
that
there's
movie.
a scene where he's got the rocket wing jetpack, and you're like, oh, and they're like, okay, well, here's the scene where he backflips off the cliff and does like the skydiving scene
that's
to the
Saho?
party. It's like, by the way, same movie. Or was it the part with the excavator fight on the bridge, and he's on the motorcycle?
I was
Like,
struggling to remember which one was Saho, and it's like, oh yeah, they were all
It's
Saho.
all Saho. It's all Saho.
Yeah, so I think the VFX Artists React to Megalopolis is this coming weekend.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I think Dean's finishing that up.
Yep.
Yep.
So
All right, everybody. Well, we are reaching the end of our podcast, at least here on YouTube and Spotify. But on the Corridor Digital website /app, it is continuing into our after hours show. So we're going to move into answering some questions, just having a chat with everybody here. But you know what? It's the beginning of a new year. The podcast is going to be evolving a little bit. I'm looking forward to some of the upgrades you guys are going to be seeing over the next couple weeks here. And
hopefully a little less jank.
of course. Well, no, the jank is always going to be here because that's part of Corridor Digital.
We embrace
It's
it.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks, everybody.
Thanks
We'll
for
see you
watching.
soon.
And 3, 2, 1.